It's funny, I had a short, I played at Coachella a couple of years ago, and I was driving down on the 10, and I had the most self-evident epiphany. I was in traffic, as often happens, like in some terrible stretch of the 10, like with like an auto zone here, and like some crappy Home Depot here. I'm like, oh, I fucking hate traffic. And all of a sudden it dawned on me, like, no one likes traffic. Like, because you're looking at all these other cars and being like, oh, they're the problem. It's like, no, they hate it just as much as I do. And they're just as like, they're having just as intimate an experience of the human condition as I am in that moment. But it's not like me versus them. It's like everybody's experiencing the exact same thing. Even like our president, even Jay-Z, even whomever, like they're all messy humans. As much as they pretend they're not.
Calms us down too, right?
Except for Elon Musk, who is a cyborg.
Who is it?
Elon Musk.
Oh.
He started Tesla and stuff. He's like the single most impressive human being on the planet.
Okay.
Apart from David Lynch.
We didn't want to miss the chance. We're having such an interesting time, and I appreciate your reactions, but we do invite some questions from the audience. Eric, do we have some microphones, or why don't you just stand and what kind of mic? Here's a mic coming. Just tell us where you're from, your name and where you're from.
Hi, my name is Olivia Odette, and I am a junior in the Music Industry Management program at Ferris State University in Big Rapids, Michigan. And over the past 20 years, music technology, recording, and even just live performances in general, they've changed exponentially, obviously, with all the changes in digital technology. And as students, sometimes we can be taught that a process of how to do something and how to always follow it and stick with it, so don't really look towards the changes. And you've experienced both before digital technology was the main process of recording, and what's your best advice for us to actually be open to those ideas, or actually, how did you deal with it, the big changeover from less digital products in recording and live performance to more how it is today?
Well, I think it's a really good question. It's hard for me to have like a broad, general answer, because I mean, again, ultimately, sort of what we've been talking about is the way people respond to music is subjective. But having said that, there needs to be music for people to respond to, and they need to hear it. And that involves technology. So it can be anything. It can be, as we said, like, you know, a Billie Holiday song or a Snoop Dogg song. But what's amazing about the world we live in now, and I feel like I'm completely stating the obvious, is that like the way in which music is created, disseminated, consumed, has all completely changed from what it was 20, 30 years ago. And my advice is just be aware of all the technological changes and opportunities, because they're also, like I remember I got in so much trouble about 10 years ago. I was at my record label, and they were talking about their iTunes, like the strategy for iTunes. And I was like, oh, you do know in like 10 years people won't own music. And they got they're like, what do you mean people have always owned music? I was like, no, 15 years they won't. And it's just like movies, like I haven't bought a DVD. The idea of owning a movie or a TV show seems so weird to me. Sadly, I say this as someone who both owns and sells music. In the future, people won't own music. By the future, I mean 5 minutes from now. So it's, and all the technology, like everything changes so fast. So my advice is like be aware of it, but not consumed by it. And be aware that whatever platform you're using probably won't be around in a few years. Whatever platform people use to buy music, listen to music, like Spotify is great. 6 months from now, it might be gone. Pandora is great. 6 months from now, it might be gone. SoundCloud is great. 6 months from now, it might be gone. So don't get too attached to the technology and understand ultimately people ultimately love the music, not the technology. So I don't know if that's relevant to what you're saying. Also, odd prima donna question. May I get some water?
Oh, water.
I'm such a fucking diva.
Hey, sorry, I'll get you some water.
I hate myself.
This is your only diva moment. You have one diva moment. We have one more question, but we do need some water. Eric, we need some water. Okay.
Ma'am? You can just, I can hear you.
Just,
And I'll repeat your question. No. Am I still using hardware? Yeah, my studio is... Oh, thank you, Jonathan.
That's Jonathan.
You call this water? I think I just
Here, I'll hold
goes
the water.
with GHB. No, I'm kidding.
I'll hold
So my studio is analogs. Like I have acoustic guitars, pedal steel, a bunch of old microphones, a bunch of old synths, a bunch of new synths, some old compressors, some new compressors, some fancy technology, some cheap technology, and then everything goes into Pro Tools. And my favorite, my Juno 106 by Roland. I have this weird Maestro drum machine from 1971. I have the world's largest collection of analog drum machines. It's true, I'm not bragging. Yes, I am. But it is true. I'm up to about 350 analog drum machines now. Wow. I'm a hoarder for drum machines. But I have this one drum machine that has an audio input where whatever the drum pattern is becomes a gate for the audio. So it's the weirdest sequenced gate pattern. So sometimes if I'm working on a song and I don't know what to do with it, just take some of the audio and plug it in this drum machine and see what happens. And when I say Pro Tools, like Pro Tools is good, they're all good. Reason is good, Cubase is good, Logic is good. You know, I think whatever digital platform you use to record music on, it's fine. As long, like Avicii, a friend of mine was with him when he made that Wake Me Up before it's, what's that song called? The big one?
Yeah.
Popular with the young persons. Was with him when he made that. He made it on Fruity Loops. In 30 minutes, start to finish. Fruity Loops. That's not even a real thing. So, but apparently it's like it's whatever works.
And whatever makes you feel good.
Mm-hmm.
And that song makes a lot of people feel
It's a great song, yeah.
This has been so enjoyable. I want to hear about what you're working on now and kind of what's next. And then if you're comfortable, if there's anything you want to play.
Play? Sure, like what?
Well, what you have to, we've got a guitar here, we've got a piano. We've got a hole for you if you want to.
Yeah,
I think this
nice.
is with the music. This is the stuff over here that we've set up.
Sound-wise, are they all plugged in? Oh, okay.
It's over here.
What's
This is the piano, keyboard, and
Mark
mouse.
use a piano.
What?
Something weird about like wearing a headset playing piano. I feel like some weird adult contemporary guy.
Okay. We don't want to put you in that position.
Yeah. Like I've been to too many like Marriott hotel lobbies.
Right. No, we don't want to do that too. We do have an acoustic guitar
Okay.
over there. Should I get it for you? Would you be?
Sure, that one. Okay.
Let me, and then maybe tell us a little while I'm getting it for you. Tell us a little bit what you're working on, or kind of where you're headed.
Oh,
What's
sure.
next?
Well, I'm making a record, and I don't expect anyone to buy it. Beyond that, it's fun making a record. But as I said, 2015. If you're a musician in your 40s and you expect people to buy your record, you're sadly deluded. Like,
Might need a little check.
ooh, sounds fine. You can play.
That's from my era.
It's classic rock. I actually had this idea years ago. I was going to start a band called Dr. Pavlov and His Dogs.
It's a Sparky, right?
And you only play 5 seconds of songs. So it's like, wait, who was on it too? That's the whole song. Like, why do you need more?
The rest happens in the break.
Yeah.
You take it out, you're playing it.
like the rest of it's filler. A little out too. You know what else is fun? Play classic songs that are in a major key. Do everything in a minor key, and you turn these happy songs into like the dirgiest songs, like Sweet Home Alabama, like it said, Sweet Home Alabama, where those skies are so blue. Sweet Home Alabama, Lord, I'm calling. I feel like Paul Robeson.
I know.
One of my favorites is, you know the Twisted Sister song, We're Not Gonna Take It? Like, we're not gonna take it, no, we ain't gonna take it, in a minor key. We're not gonna take it.
It's very mellow.
No, we ain't gonna take it. We're not gonna take it anymore. Or
It's amazing what it
jazz versions of classic rock songs. Ready? Last night, a little dancer came dancing to my door. Last night, a little angel came bumping on the floor. She said, come on, baby, I got a license for love. And if it expires, rain hell from above, because in the midnight hour, she cried more, more, with a rebel yell. She cried more, 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 more.
You're telling us we gotta be flexible, and we gotta pay attention, right? Gotta know it a lot.
So if you're a guitar player or a keyboard player, it's also fun to accompany, like if friends of you are telling stories, just accompany them. Because like all of a sudden, like if they're telling you a sad story and you start playing country western, they can't tell us it like, well, I just broke up with my girlfriend and, you know, the Lexapro isn't working and I think I'm gonna buy some razor blades. I feel so much better.
So,
I'm available for bar mitzvahs.
I mean, this has been delightful. We can't thank you enough
My
for
pleasure.
sharing and being so open with us. Was this inspiring? We're gonna let these good kids go on their way to their next class. They got a lot of stuff they gotta do. Look at your schedules. Hey, this is wonderful, isn't it? Look at your schedules for all the